Welcome to week 3 of CHUMChildren Online. My name is Miss Katie, and I am super happy that you are able to join us for Sunday school today. So, this Sunday, we are going to be talking about how God is Lord. And this is our first week we're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about it next week. But our story for today is based on Exodus chapters 2, 3, and 4. We've been talking for these last 3 weeks about this Bible verse. It's Isaiah 40, verse 28, and I'm going to read that for you. The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and his understanding no one can fathom. So, last week, we talked about this man named Abraham. He was originally named Abram, but then God gave him the name Abraham, that means father of many. You see him, that guy right there, and his wife, Sarah, who was named Sarai before, they really wanted a baby. And God said that even though they were really old, they could have a child. Right there. And then God said that he would have children, and their children would have children, and their children's children would have children, so many that he would have all of these family members, as much as the stars in the sky. So years and years and years after Abraham had his child, and those children had children, they became known as the Israelites. Now, the Israelites lived in Egypt, and they were ruled by this man over here, the Pharaoh. Pharaoh was the king, and he told them everything that they had to do. He was not very nice. He made them build things for them and work for him. He was not a nice man. And these Israelites were God's people. And so they prayed to God and said, God, don't forget about us. We are going through something that's really hard right now. And we know that you are the God of everything. You are Lord. And we want you to help us out. So God gave them Moses. Now Moses had a really interesting connection to Pharaoh. You see, Pharaoh's daughter actually adopted him. So he was part of Pharaoh's family, but things didn't go well because he was supposed to be an Israelite. That's who his family was before he was adopted. And he knew that Pharaoh was not treating God's people the way that they should have been treated. So he decided to leave and try to help God's people in another way. And he was a shepherd. So he took care of sheep. And one time, he was looking for a sheep that was lost, and he found this. Now, this is a bush. Do you have a tree or a bush outside of your house? Well, if it were to ever catch on fire, it would burn and become ash and get all black and charred and hard. But this bush was very different, and I'm going to read that for you. Exodus chapter 3, verses 2 through 3. The Lord's messenger appeared to him, that's Moses, in a flame of fire in the middle of a bush. Moses saw that the bush was in flames, but it didn't burn up. Then Moses said to himself, let me check out this amazing sight and find out why the bush isn't burning. A bush that was on fire, but it wasn't getting all black and charred? That would have been crazy. So Moses knew that there's something going on over here and that he should check it out. So I'm going to keep on reading from Exodus chapter 3. This is verses 4 through 5. When the Lord saw that he was coming to look, God called to him out of the bush, Moses, Moses. Moses said, I'm here. Then the Lord said, Don't come any closer. Take off your sandals because you are standing on holy ground. I have this tree over here. Could you imagine if you started hearing a voice from inside this tree that was on fire, but there was no one there? That bush told Moses to take off his shoes because he was standing on holy ground. Do you know why it was holy? Because God was there. So I'm not wearing sandals. I'm wearing sneakers. So I'm in God's church. We're on holy ground. Taking my sneakers off. So Moses listened to him and he took his sandals off and he was waiting to hear what God had in store for him. No more sandals. So God told Moses that he heard the Israelites' cries and their prayers and knew that they were in trouble, and he wanted to help them. Exodus 3, verses 9 and 10. Now the Israelites' cries of injustice have reached me. I've seen just how much the Egyptians have oppressed them. So get going. I'm sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. Now here's the interesting thing. Moses, who is just hearing from God himself, is being told that he is going to save all the Israelites, all of his family. So his brother and sister and their uncles and cousins and great cousins and 5 cousins down the line after that, everyone who is being harmed and used by the Pharaoh, he is going to be the one who is going to save them. But Moses was scared. He thought, God, why me? Why am I the one that you want to use? I'm not going to be good at this. I can't do this at all. But God is Lord, and he has a plan for us even before we are born. He knows exactly who we are going to be and how he is going to use us in his life. And that is something that is really, really amazing. So, Moses knew that God wanted him to go against Pharaoh. It wasn't going to be easy, and it was probably going to be really scary. But God had a plan, and we're going to talk more about that next week. Exodus 3, 13 through 15. But Moses said to God, if I now come to the Israelites and say to them, the God of your ancestors has sent me to you, they are going to ask me, what is God's name? What am I supposed to tell them? God said to Moses, I am who I am. So that say to the Israelites, the I am has sent me to you. God continued, say to the Israelites, the Lord, the God of your ancestors, Abraham's God, Isaac's God, and Jacob's God, has sent me to you. This is my name forever. This is how all generations will remember me. So back then, names were really important, so we knew who people were. And Moses knew that he couldn't just say, hey, there was a bush, and it was on fire, and it didn't burn, and then this voice said, hey, you should go talk to Pharaoh. What do you think would have happened if someone heard that? I think they were crazy. But that's okay, because God knew that he was in control and that he is the I am. And that made sense to them. God is Lord. He is in control of everything. So even when things are crazy or you are frustrated with schoolwork or anything else is going on around you, he is going to be taking care of you and loving you, and he's able to talk to you. Maybe not through a burning bush. That'd be a little crazy. But He works in mysterious ways. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope you come back next week to continue hearing about Moses. And I want you to go back in the resources page and find some activities to do and a cartoon. See you next week.